All right, thank you, Polumi, for joining us with all those details. Meanwhile, the battle of the fifth round in West Bengal, the poll battle is underway. As many as 45 constituencies across 6 districts are voting in midst of the surge of the COVID-19 cases in the state of West Bengal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took to Twitter and appealed to the people to vote in record numbers. There are 6 districts going to polls that will seal the fate of over 300 candidates. Actor Aditi Munshi is the TMC face from Rajarhat, while former Minister Madan Mitra is contesting polls from Kamrahati.
We are joined by former Bengal Minister Madan Mitra seeking divine intervention, of course, here at the Dakshineshwar Temple. Madanda, it's a prestige battle, it's a high-profile battle for you at Kamrahati this time.
I believe in divine power. I believe in the power of the people, so far the democracy is concerned. But now all orders are being issued only for BJP, that they can carry arms, they can take up outsiders, they can throw bombs, no problem. We want peaceful, we want peaceful voting, polling, and that has been started. And the main power in the democracy is the power of the people, by the people, of the people, for the people.
Let me take you straight, in fact, to the ground. My colleague Indrajit Kundu is joining us from Kamrahati. You just heard him, in fact, speaking to the candidate of the TMC there, Minister, who was in the fray. Polumi Shah is joining us from Nadia. Mosmi Singh is in Darjeeling. She's also joining us this morning. Indrajit, coming to you, very, very important phase, this one. This is the phase where, if you just compare it to in 2019, BJP made significant gains. It will be a very, very important phase for the TMC. How much can they pull back would be the big question.
Well, absolutely, Ankit. Make no mistakes about it. And we are halfway through as far as West Bengal elections is concerned. That's very important. 4 phases already down. This is the 5th phase and 3 more to go. And, 45 seats are for the grabs in this phase. Very, very crucial phase. 6 districts in which the elections are taking place, not just South Bengal, but in North Bengal, in Jalpaiguri and Darjeeling as well. We, of course, in fact, at this point in time, are trailing the convoy of former Bengal Minister Madan Mitra, who is on a whirlwind trip of his Kamrahati constituency. It's a prestige battle for him in this constituency because he lost this seat in 2016 by a margin of 5,000 votes, and he lost it to the CPIM then. But this time it's going to be a triangular contest between the Trinamool Congress, the left, and the BJP. And what we've been seeing, as you just stated, in 2019, the BJP has had a lead in many seats in West Bengal, and that's precisely the reason why this contest has become so fiercely contested election. So whether or not the left candidate is able to hold on to their vote share, or whether that entire left vote goes to the BJP, might be a deciding factor in several seats, because in the Kamrahati constituency, we know in 2016, Madan Mitra lost the seat by just 5,000 votes. And the Trinamool was second, the left was in the first position. And believe you me, the BJP had only 1,699 votes. Just merely 1,700 votes is what the BJP got. But if, you analyze the 2019 election, we just see how the BJP vote share has suddenly increased. And that's happened because of the entire left vote shifting to the BJP. And that might be a very, very crucial factor in these elections, Ankit.
The shifting of the left vote, we saw that in 2019, even in the Lok Sabha election, where on the ground you saw a lot of left workers, in fact, helping the Bharatiya Janata Party because their aim was to defeat Didi. Mosmi is also joining us from Darjeeling, sending us all those lovely reports from the tea gardens in the nice green areas of Darjeeling and areas around it. Mosmi, very good morning. The tea estates are going to be an important factor. Come elections and people start talking about wages for the tea estate workers and, of course, their problems as well. How much of an impact has the Bharatiya Janata Party been able to have in these areas? and what is it that you are picking up from the ground as the voting has begun?
Namaskar Ankit, ma Mosmi Singh, Hazur Haru, Kastu Hunu Huncha, Kasto Cha, Ramro Cha.
Well, absolutely fine, Mosmi, if that is what the drift was. Now, please go ahead.
All right. Yeah, that is. So I was talking to you, you were saying about the mornings in Darjeeling, they're absolutely enthusing, you know, because with the Darjeeling tea, sipping the Darjeeling tea, it's absolutely a pleasure to be in Darjeeling. And, you know, tea is not only about the trademark of Darjeeling, Ankit, a lot of politics is also happening around the tea gardens and the tea workers. Darjeeling has the district has about 5 assembly seats, and spread across the mountainous region. 3 of them are in the mountain terrains, and it's absolutely a Herculean challenge for many voters who have to trek for kilometers at length. And you can look at the weather. It is very cloudy. It rained cats and dogs yesterday. The weather doesn't seem very bright today, despite the dip in temperature and all the climatic odds, the geographical odds. The voters are coming out from early in the morning. We are at BT College, which is one of the polling booths right in the middle of the Darjeeling town. And, you know, this time round, there is a lot of factionism in the regional outfit, the Goja Momo, which is having 2 factions fighting on the symbol that the Election Commission has given them, the Bimal versus the Binay faction. And then you have the TMC in the supporting role, and the BJP. We've got the BJP candidate with us, Ankit, who is, the BJP is running the elections in alliance with the GNLF, the Gorkha National Liberation Front. And you can see that Neeraj Tamang is right here. Mr. Tamang, the weather doesn't seem very good, but do you think that the voters will really come out?
Definitely so, definitely so. It's more than election for us. It may be election for Bengal. We have a popular slogan here, it's not Chunao, it's Chunauti, challenge. So the 3 seats becomes very vital. It's just not of making a chief minister, but we want a political dimensional change. We want a political permanent solution. And so this becomes very vital. And
but very importantly, as what you said, the voters here
Right.
are very silent. They say, Man ka kura, man mai cha.
definitely, because there has been a long time,
Right.
a long time.
Okay. You know, Mosmi, I'm just coming to you. I'm just coming back to you. But let me very quickly also bring in Polumi Saha at this moment. Polumi, like in Darjeeling, the very important factor would be, because this is the tea area, of course, also the Gorkha land movement and the parties associated, that also is going to play a factor. But what we have seen largely is that the Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't have any unions like the left and the TMC does. How much of an impact is that going to make on the fortunes of the BJP? And is the left cadre, which is the question that most people are looking at on the ground, are they intact? Because if the left cadre stays intact, that possibly could be detrimental as far as the BJP goes.
Well, we have seen a shift. We have seen a shift of the cadre towards the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the left is, of course, adamantly opposed to the Trinamool Congress. So they've chosen to, in fact, shift slowly. Not all of them, of course. I'm not speaking for the majority of them, but a lot of them have shifted towards the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that has definitely been quite a dampener for the Trinamool Congress, if you may. In fact, if you talk about the voting as well, and you talk about how the split of votes happened here in the first assembly election. I'm talking about the 2016 assembly election, the previous one. You saw that the Trinamool Congress, of course, swept these 45 assembly constituencies. You looked at the TMC share, which stood at about 35. The BJP stood at nil. It was nowhere in the picture as far as these 45 assembly seats were concerned. And then, of course, the Congress and the left, which came a close second as far as these assembly seats are concerned. Cut to 2019. the Lok Sabha elections. And that's, of course, from the 2018 Panchayat elections onwards, of course, we know that the BJP's upward spiral started. And in 2019, if you look at the 45 assembly seats and the split of the seats then you look at TMC standing at about 23 and the BJP standing at about 22. Yes, I wouldn't say that the BJP's organizational strength, its booth management is up to the T. Definitely the TMC is much better. But today, as we stand here and as we've traveled across the state and we've seen polling across various districts, you cannot discount the BJP's organizational strength. It has built upwards from scratch.
This is one area where the BJP had 45% vote share as compared to a 41% vote share of the TMC. So is the Bharatiya Janata Party possibly on the back of cadres from other party which are just in order to defeat the TMC, still helping them? Will they be able to hold on to that kind of a vote share? That is going to be very, very crucial as far as the BJP goes. And as Polumi was pointing out, the cadre on the ground, the machinery, the organizational strength, that is going to be tested as far as the BJP goes in these polls, as TMC, at least on the ground with their organization, seems to be quite intact, quite strong. Thank you, Polumi, for joining us. I just want to very quickly take you to our Election Data Intelligence Board, where my colleague Nabila will just give you some very interesting data facts as far as the fifth phase of polling in Bengal goes.
Right, Ankit, I'm going to quickly take you through the seat share and the vote share in these 45 constituencies. Let's go into fifth phase of polling in West Bengal. We're looking at least 45 constituencies that will be voting today. Now, to take you through the seat share here, let me take you through the numbers of the TMC. We're looking at, out of the 45 constituencies, TMC managed in 2016 Assembly polls to bag 35 assembly constituencies there. And with that, 48% of the vote share is what the TMC bagged in 2016, while the BJP, for that matter, did not manage to win even one assembly constituency, but they still managed to garner 10% of the vote share. In the meanwhile, after the TMC, the left managed to get at least 10 constituencies out of the 45 and 37% of the vote share. And the others, independents and a few others there, at 5% of the vote share without gaining any assembly constituency. So clearly we're looking at this entire 45 constituency going to polls in phase 5 as a TMC stronghold. Now, if I can take you through a quick look at the swing states. Let me tell you, out of these 45 assembly constituency, we're looking at least 11 constituencies in these 45 assembly seats going to the TMC. 11 constituencies are swing constituencies there that have voted for the TMC. 5 of them managed to move to the left. We're looking at the BJP not getting any support from the swing constituencies there. TMC there managing at least 11 swing constituencies to vote in their favor. Over to you, Ankit.
Thank you, Nabila, for joining us with all those data points. And with that, in fact, let me also take you to what is happening in the state of West Bengal. And this has become quite a feature, ladies and gentlemen. As Bengal votes for the fifth phase of elections, rally versus rally war is going to take place. This is Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who will be hitting the battleground first. She will be campaigning for the TMC at the Tildanga ground in Budwood at 11 a.m. Soon after this, Didi will be at Katwa municipality addressing a Jan Sabha. She would then end her campaign for the day at a poll rally in Chak Baman Goria district, taking on the Mamata might will be the BJP big guns. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing 2 rallies in the state. Prime Minister will address his first rally at Asansol in the noon, and then it will be followed by Gangarampur at 2:15 p.m. Not only the Prime Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah too will be in the state to campaign for the 6th phase of the polling. Amit Shah will kick off the campaign for Bengal with a road show, and then he would be addressing a rally at 2 p.m. as well. His last rally, 2 rallies and 1 road show, will be at Osgram at 3:45 p.m. So while Bengal would be voting for the 5th phase, the campaigning for the 6th phase will continue in the state. Now, one controversy to another, that's been the nature of the polling and the campaigning as far as West Bengal is concerned. No holds barred, the Bharatiya Janata Party has released an audio tape of an alleged conversation between Mamata Banerjee and TMC Kuch Bihar candidate Partha Pratim Roy. The Bengal Chief Minister is heard allegedly asking for a rally with the bodies of 4 victims who lost their lives in Kuch Bihar firing last week. The Trinamool Congress chief is also heard calling for arrest of all CRPF personnel, CISF personnel. The tapes have triggered a fresh war of words between the BJP and the TMC. BJP Bengal, in fact, in charge Amit Shah. Amit Malviya, I beg your pardon, that the IT cell chief has accused Mamata Banerjee of playing politics over dead bodies, while the TMC has hit back, asking how is it that the BJP has been able to procure these tapes between the party chief and her candidate.
হ্যাঁ দিদি মাথা ঠান্ডা করে ভোটটা করো, তারপরে বিচার আমরা করবো। একদম আমি অ্যারেস্ট করাবো সব কটা সিআরপিএফকে। ডেড বডিগুলো এখন রেখে দাও, কালকে ডেড বডিগুলো নিয়ে র্যালি হবে। আজকে পরিবারগুলোকে বলবে কেউ ডেড বডি নেবে না। ঠিক 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 সব থাকবে এবং আজকে আগে ভোটটা করে নাও মাথা ঠান্ডা করে। একদম একদম দিদি তালাচি হচ্ছে যাতে তুমি ভোটটা না করতে পারো, ভুলে যাও। একদম একদম আছি ফিল্ডে, আমি পড়ে আছি। এরা কারা করেছে? সিআরপিএফ সিআরপিএফ সিআরপিএফ। লোকগুলো কারা? লোকগুলো কারা? ওগুলো আমাদেরই লোক, আমাদেরই লোক। কাজ করো, পুরো এফআইআর করবে লয়ারকে দিয়ে, নিজের ইচ্ছে মতো করবে না। ওকে ওকে। এফআইআর বাড়ির লোক যেটা করবে আমি বলে দেবো আফটার ইলেকশন। ঠিক ঠিক। এখনই পুরো স্টেটমেন্ট নিতে গেলে করবে না, ভালো করে এফআইআর করতে হবে লয়ারের সাথে কনসাল্ট করে, যাতে এগুলো ওদের কমান্ড জোন থেকে শুরু করে এসপি থেকে শুরু করে সব কটা পাচ্ছে। এসপি কেও পাঠাতে হবে, আইসি কেও পাঠাতে হবে। ঠিক ঠিক। এখন মাথা ঠান্ডা করে ভোট করে এজেন্টদের চেঞ্জ দাও। সব বুথে সব বুথে এজেন্ট আছে, দুটো আমি যাচ্ছি, সব জায়গায় যাচ্ছি। মানুষ চারিদিক দিয়ে বলি যে চিন্তা করার কোনো কারণে ভোটটা না দিতে পারেন যাতে, তার জন্য এরা এরকম করবে। ওরা এনপিআর করবে, ওরা ডিটেনশন ক্যাম্প করবে, তাই একদম একদম কোনো চিন্তা নেই। ঠিক আছে, আমি দেখে নিচ্ছি।
The problem is the people who are releasing this, they themselves don't understand the language. So we have played the tape. We have played the tape here. The big question is, who is recording all these tapes? Who is giving such inputs to the Home Minister of the country and everybody else? But we will fight all this politically.
Here you have Mamata Banerjee. She wants to take out a procession, and mind that word, she wants to take out a procession of dead bodies so that she can use them for political gains. She can communalize the election. She can create unrest. This is the criminal mindset of the Chief Minister, who was at the helm of affairs of the state for 10 years. Can you imagine what it could have done to the state, to the social fabric of the state, had she actually succeeded in taking out this procession?
All right.